Happy Halloween! We are over at the YouTube account for Playcrafts because we're having a hard time streaming live in the Facebook group. And today with me is Miss Thea Ong. You will see them a little later after the introduction. And with Michelle. Good morning, everyone. Hi, Thea.
Hi, good morning everyone. Good morning aficionados.
Okay, I can hear myself. I need to pause this.
Good morning, can you hear me?
Myself.
Hoy, may costume. Ang cute. Wala ka naman sinabing costume party.
Beth, can you hear us? Yes, Michelle, I can hear you. I muted myself because I can hear myself. Okay, there we go. So, hello again, everyone. Okay, there we go. This is just a filter. Happy Halloween, everyone. I hope you can see this. Yes, I can hear you. Okay, there we go. I have so many devices, I keep hearing myself. Okay, so we're back, and I am here with Thea. Hi, Thea.
Hello, good morning.
Okay, so
Welcome. Yep.
we introduce Thea first because we are running on a limited time for Thea today. And this has always been my problem. That's why I keep asking Michelle if she can take over the hosting, okay? Because I'm having a hard time with the technical background. So to introduce Thea, Thea is a self-taught watercolorist who came from a family of artists and found her passion in art while juggling her duties as a mother. She's a web programmer and an IT consultant who graduated from Manila and uses her graphic design skills to enhance her techniques in calligraphy and water painting. She also, nawala ako. Thea is art as a form of therapy and consistently looks for innovative ways to improve her craft and share this through demos and art workshops. So I've been with Thea, I've worked with Thea for the longest time, and she has been there since day one of Playcrafts, and I'm so happy that we are able to do these things that we do, and we are able to collaborate together on some of the opportunities that come along the way. So we will be working with Pearlescent Watercolors, so you will see the different types of watercolors for today. We'll be using Pearlescent Watercolors for Thea and dark paper. So if you're ready, Thea, I will give the floor to you.
Okay, thank you for that introduction, Miss Beth.
But
So can you hear me well?
yes, very well.
Okay, so the light is against me, so I was trying to show myself, but I'll switch my camera to my work now. So maybe we can begin. It's a busy day here at my parents' house. It's my niece's first birthday. So I'm not home. I'm at my parents' house. So we're having a mini party, family only, but they're going to have a Zoom party on their own. So welcome to the loose floral, metallic loose floral part of my teaching for watercolor aficionados. I'm very honored to be here. It's been a pleasure to be invited. So let's begin. The things that we will be using today will be the Black Journal from Tokyo Finds, the Galaxies also from Tokyo Finds. So this is the galaxies that they have. Also, in their Bento Picasso 90s, they also have this metallic paints. So I'll try to show you the difference between the two. If you're interested to check out their Bento Picasso and also their Galaxy. So I'm just gonna do a shameless plug. I have a launch box with Tokyo Finds. They have the Galaxies and Black Journal bundled with Zen brushes, and also some of my step-by-step floral metallic florals. So you can purchase that as a bundle. Then there's step-by-step instructions on how I did some of my metallic florals, as you can see here. Okay, so let's begin. So this is the old galaxies that I have, so it's much more uh, unclean. Let me fix this. Okay, so loose florals. What do you know about loose florals? I'm sure most of you are familiar with it. So for the metallics, I somehow relate this to parang siyang gouache in a way na may pagka acrylic painting. So parang it's less water. So that's how I use the metallics. I did not bring any water spray here, but you can use water spray to activate your metallics. And so let's begin. I'm gonna start with the scarlet color. And so when I do my when I begin something like the floral bouquet, honestly, I don't have anything in mind. But that's not advisable. What you should be doing is you have to begin with the end in mind, just like in the seven effective parang yung kay ano yun? Seven habits of effective people. Well, you have to begin with the end in mind. So
Even
when you
COVID.
do kay Kobe, yeah. So when you do your composition, you should know now what's gonna be the end result. Okay? So maybe let's do something parang triangular or S, something like that. So yun yung composition natin for today. Okay? So let's start with the simple 5 petal flower. So I use the scarlet paint. So just do some 5 petals. That's the safest flower that you can paint. So I'm sure the loose rose that you've learned from uh, the aficionados lessons from the very beginning, right? So you can apply that because I'm sure most of you learned a lot. 3 ways on learning how to paint a loose rose. So we will be doing that as well. So let's start with a 5 petal flower. Then I'm gonna do some stippling in the middle with a different shade like the bronze or the gold. And also, I'll try to let this dry, then we'll glaze over the petals later. Okay? So, also, I like to do some variegated wash. So, I try to apply it as well here. So, let's start with the loose rose. I start with thin lines and then slowly move on. So,
Yan,
yung
how can you maintain that consistency? Kasi yun yung problem ko sa metallic. I cannot maintain that consistency.
maintaining the consistency. Actually, parang it's familiarity of how you control the water and also yung material. Kunyari yung brush mo, it can hold a lot more water. So, parang you get more paint.
What brush would you recommend for Pearlescent Watercolors? Like, matubig.
Oo.
Kaya ito, I don't treat it na parang, yan ang ganda nung sa'yo kasi hindi ganyan yung sa akin.
Siguro, no? Medyo, I've tried different brushes as well. Parang I tried water brush. Last time we did the demo, di ba? I used water brush. Medyo mas watery siya. Yesterday, I used this one. Sobrang dry. Parang hindi masyadong ganito yung consistency. So, parang ang suggestion ko, I'm using a synthetic brush right now. Jackson's art. But I also use yung Zen brush. So, that's also nice to use. And
Zen brush
you know,
by, Shop Tokyo Finds.
yes, Zen brush from
Synthetic one, no?
synthetics, yes. So, nakita mo, no, medyo nagpa-puddle dito. Siguro kasi parang gouache type na yung ang tawag dito. Parang hindi siya dry masyado. Medyo creamy na siya in a way para yung consistency niya medyo ganito.
Hindi rin watery, no?
Oo. So, parang makikita mo naman siya, matetest mo naman siya when you use it, na pagka medyo transparent, you add more, you dip it some more. I'm using the Tokyo Finds journal.
Ilang
So,
GSM
black journal. It's 150 GSM. Let me check.
150 GSM lang, o di ka nagbabakal.
Oh, hindi.
130 GSM.
Ay, sorry. It's 230. 230 GSM.
Okay. It's 230.
Yes. Sorry. So, the thing about dito sa metallics is hindi, as I said, medyo parang siyang acrylic and gouache type na yung transparency hindi ko masyadong ma-apply. Kasi nga, magiging watery siya. So, parang for example, you do the color values ng light to dark, medyo mas hindi siya applicable dito sa metallics. And what I noticed sa metallics is parang walang artwork that will look crappy. Every artwork that you use, that you make using metallics will look nice talaga. Kasi it's a shimmer. That's the shimmer that will make you happy. Ano yun?
Oo, shimmer makes me happy. Pero your paintings are so nice. Hindi ganyan painting ko sa metallics.
So, just to show, I started painting on this journal January 2019. I just checked. So, the date here, I use pencil to sign. So, it's January 2019. So, hindi ko pa natatapos. Pero, yun na nga, this journal or this metallics is my parang happy place. When I'm feeling low or something, I just get this metallics. As in, pag nakita mo gumagamit ang metallics, alam mo na may pinagdadaanan ako. So, yun.
Lagi ka may metallic posts, ha?
Ano?
Palagi kang may mga metallic na...
laging kailangan may kailangan mag-refresh ng mind, ganun. Yun yung feeling. Kasi nga, sabi ko nga, di ba, the metallics will make you happy. So, parang, it's a refreshing thing to paint. So, parang siguro, my one advice is that, parang, if you're feeling, parang, uninspired or something, parang find something that will make you more inspired na to refresh your mind. Kasi minsan, di ba, parang monotonous na or something. Not just yung painting, also in life. So, yun. So, here sa...
Notice, you change colors. How do you change your colors? There a particular parang technique that you do? Like,
Yeah.
from pink to violet, and then now you're changing yellow from the orange,
So,
yellow to silver.
yeah, so one thing na parang pwedeng advice for choosing colors is go with the monologous color. So, kunyari pink and violet, so parang they go together. This one, the gold and the light yellow, I chose that they go together. So, parang yung, di ba sabi ko, the transparency, I cannot do it here. Pero, what you do is parang do a variegated wash instead. So, you go with gold and light yellow. They go together para yun yung magiging dark and light mo. Then, when you do let's go back to this 5-petal flower. When you go back to this one, when you glaze over it. So, again, yung scarlet, and then I put light yellow as glazing. So, kind of still on the same family of colors. So,
Clean your brush, Thea. Parang hindi ka nag-clean ng brush.
nandito yung ko. It's a sausawan of ito lang nahanap ko dito. I do clean, pero... Ha?
May tissue ka with you?
Wala nga, hindi ako naka-prepare. Pero...
So, nililinis at lang, water lang?
Sa water lang. And then, medyo hindi ako masipag sa palette which is not advisable really. Pero, may kita mo, nandito sa palette ko mismo yung mga mixing of colors. And I try to water it down to change. Or, nandyan yung ibang colors. So, minsan naghahalo na siya. So, yun yung parang, siguro hindi ako masyadong ma-water dito when it comes to the metallics. Para medyo mas opaque siya. Okay. So, yan. You add a parang monologous color para in the same family. So, cool colors together, warm colors together. So, there. Para yun yung additional na So, as I said, medyo hindi nga ako masyadong parang you have to plan what's the end bouquet, what the end bouquet will look like. Pero, minsan ako parang anything goes. Kasi nga, I don't really wanna think when I paint the metallics, when I do this metallic floral. So, parang, minsan, if the output is good, pero minsan, parang, dapat talaga may plan. So, I suggest, siguro talaga, you have a plan, the end plan, what the bouquet will look like. So, ako medyo, parang add lang ako. And then, I add the leaves later on. Okay. So, yun, medyo
hindi. You vary the sizes of your flowers.
Yun. Yun, one thing.
You use reference photos for your composition or you do it by feels lang?
Yun, that's what I'm saying. You have to have a composition in mind. Pero parang siguro since 2017 na painting, parang you try to do it from your imagination na. So medyo parang anything goes na lang for me. But yun, it's still best to have an actual photo as a reference. So I also try to mix colors, nakita mo, I got the pink and then I go to the gold. So those are also nice color. Yan. So you can also do parang loading the brush with two colors. You can also apply that technique. So that will make a nice effect too. So yan, medyo naging watery na. So I try to get more paint and then like that. Yan. And also you have
Beginners, Thea, they have a hard time composing different types of flowers. Like if they know the stroke, but they don't know how to, let's say, compose, no?
mm
Yun, what would you advise them na to do para they can, to help them compose their loose florals? Kasi yung iba, I understand, they have a hard time parang pag walang sketch. So, ask them to sketch or to draw, things like that.
Yeah. Actually, siguro I'll borrow what you mentioned before, Miss Beth. This advices came from Miss Beth. You really practice very well. Parang, di ba, you last time you paint 200 plus flowers. So that's also what happened to me. Parang, if you look at my feed in Instagram, parang I was painting every holiday since 2017, I think. I sell craft notebooks and yung brown craft, 'di ba? So lagi akong nagpe-paint noon. Pero parang siguro sabihin natin 50 orders dati at most. So parang painting that help a lot. Tapos I compare it yearly na I see my improvements. Parang you have to develop yung improving eye as well. Parang come 2019, I feel that I'm not improving that much. Kaya parang actually come 2020 pala. Parang sabi ko sobrang hindi ganoon kalaki yung improvement ko. So parang you try to change how yung perspective mo, parang you take more workshops, 'di ba? So you learn from other artists to improve yourself.
Actually, you did. Ikaw lang di nakakaalam. Pero yan, tawagan mo ako, ha? Para alam mo.
Pero
hindi mo nararamdaman yung improvement mo as an artist, pero ibang tao. Kasi there are people who would message me, "Oy, pati mo yung painting mo today." Yung mga kaibigan mo na magaling manlait. Yung mga ganon.
Oo.
Nice way, yeah. They are really good friends that they, pagka-close mo, kaya kang laitin talaga.
Oo, yun nga.
So, kaya kapag ikaw, you feel like that, tawagan mo ko.
Thanks. So, yun nga, I was talking to my daughter about it the other day. Parang sabi niya, wow, so nice. Sabi ko, do you think it looks good? Sabi niya, yeah. Sabi ko, I don't feel like I have any improvements from before. Sabi niya, yeah, you keep on looking at it for so long that you feel that you can finally see all the flaws. So, parang siguro, parang siguro a little pressure on yourself as well that syempre parang you always see it and then parang you have to find a way to improve, ganon. So
Daughter mo, naku, napaka-worst critic niyang anak mo na yan.
oo nga.
The strictest.
True, actually. Ang dami ngang pinagsasabi sa akin na parang langya ka. Yun. So,
it's very honest talaga eh. Kaya,
oo. Funny nga.
pero they're the best din. You have to talaga when they say
something, parang truth talaga. They don't do sugarcoat or anything.
Yes, no icing.
Oh. So, yun na nga, yung sakit natin, Miss Beth, yung how to stop putting on the leaves, di ba? So, when to stop, so one thing I do is parang you stop and then you try to balance it out. So parang I say, sige dito dagdag pa. So you start slow and then go slowly, then stop once in a while, then add more leaves para hindi ka sobrang todo putting on leaves na unlimited na. So, make sure that yung shape mo is still intact. So, parang medyo elongated na yung bouquet. So, that's how I work. Parang I balance it out through the leaves and fillers. So, ano yung mga magpapaganda? Yeah, aside from yung flowers na you already put on, the filler flowers, the filler leaves, or yung mga small details, they really make the difference. So, yung mga ganitong mga crooked stems, yun. So, let me switch to the Bento Picasso. So, let's use it. So, during Lazada Live with Tokyo Finds,
ng Picasso and the
ano yan?
The Galaxy pala. Pareho lang sila? Or mas marami sa Bento Picasso?
Mas marami sa Bento Picasso. It also has 4 neons na good for the black journal. But what I see, and parang what I observed from the Bento Picasso 90s is that yung some of the metallics na nandito, they are medyo matte finish like this one. This is the Galaxies. So, nakita mo, medyo nagsha-shine siya, di ba? This one yung sa Bento Picasso.
Mas shiny, shimmering si
Galaxies. Oo. Ito naman, matte, medyo matte finish. So, yun yung nakita kong difference. So, to each, parang whatever you prefer, syempre, you want, kung you want something na complete set na, you can go with this. But if you want yung parang medyo mas bagay siya sa calligraphy, di ba? Yung you put it in the nib.
I like the Galaxy for calligraphy.
Oo. If you wanna put it in the nib, yun. So, yun yung isang pwedeng magamit. So, yun na nga, as I mentioned, medyo mabilis akong gumawa dito sa sa mga metallic.
Kwento ka lang, tapos tapos na siya.
So, yun na nga.
They have to go in a while. That's why I really need to create na faster yung pag-set up ng live and makapag-paint siya kaagad because she hasn't went today and I just really wanted this to push through and have her demo for the Halloween talaga. And I wanted to show the participants that what they can do with non-transparent watercolors because we have been dealing with a lot of puro transparent watercolors kami. Since we're Christmas season, we want to relax na mas madali sana. Ang gagawin namin, hindi puro painting na pang exhibit, something like that. So, more of something that we can do very fast and we can give away for the holidays.
That's nice. So, yun nga, maganda yung for the Christmas cards. Nice yung line-up for Christmas. So exciting to create Christmas paintings.
Actually, request yun ng subscribers eh. Dapat sabi nga naman, oo nga naman teacher, kapag December, wala na kaming pagbibigyan yan. So,
tama. November pa lang, tama. Yes.
Kaya, very insightful sila dun. So, yan. November na yung card making namin. So, November pa lang. Sige na.
So, almost done. So, yun na nga. The fillers, yan, really makes a difference talaga.
Yan, actually, you do good in making fillers. Alam mo naman ako, I don't do small stuff like that. Hindi talaga ako marunong magganyan. Pero to create these fillers na maliliit.
So, Okay nga in combination yun, di ba? You paint big, si Nina paint small, di ba? So si Michelle talagang realistic
Sinabi
type,
si
sobrang
Michelle,
nice.
actually.
So
Or may
all,
dyan.
Ako, paggulo ko.
nice kaya yung pumpkin, sobrang ganda. So there, almost done. You can add more fillers. So, yun lang, learn when to stop adding leaves kasi parang minsan mahirap nga yun. How will you stop? What's nice about yung sa mga bouquets is you can turn it all around and it's you find an angle kung saan siya naka-face. So you try to also to make it facing left, facing right, facing downward. So yun yung parang different composition. So it's still best to look at an actual picture. So keep on practicing yung strokes as well. So in terms of compositions, start with the end in mind. Yun. Okay, so yun na. Shiny.
Nakaka-relax.
The end in mind. Diyos ko, I never do that. Parang talaga, ano kung ano yung nangyari at that particular moment. Ganun ako
Yun na lang, oo. Bahala na.
Pero everybody says that. All of the teachers, all of the watercolor teachers, they say that you have to plan.
Oo. You have
Wala
to plan.
talaga. Pag naglaro ako, maglalaro ako. Yun. Pero it's
So,
fine.
yun na. I kind of miss painting. Oo. So, medyo na-miss ko mag-paint kasi medyo nagdududal ako lately. So, parang medyo nalulunod ako sa doodling.
Ako, I can relate. Pag bouquet kasi, para mahirap magplano. Parang
Oo.
gawin mo lang, dagdag ka lang ng dagdag.
Oo. So, yun, mga feelers, yun yung magbabalance out. So, there. We have our
Look of you
metallic.
kasi good sense of bouquet, Michelle and Thea I remember when I was doing this, wala akong ka-idea sa bulaklak.
Pero ang ganda kaya yung
Beginners or
recent mo na parang autumn colors, ang ganda.
Diyos ko, sige, mag-try tayo mag-experiment ng color. Kasi I never use those colors. Talaga palagi ako pink, tapos green, puro ganyan. Wala nga akong blue Yun, tinry ko lang kasi the theme was autumn.
Right.
Yun. Pero sa totoo lang, malungkot ako doon kasi wala akong nakikita ang bright na color. Ba't ang lungkot ko? Ganun.
Pero ang ganda niya, ang ganda yung dating.
Reference talaga ang color, no?
Right, oo.
Ayan, tapos sa si Thea, kita mo ang bilis niya. We're still working on our thing, Thea. Nahabol ka namin.
Hindi ako magaling sa fillers. Kaya, ewan ko kung lalagay ko.
Michelle, hindi din ako magaling sa fillers.
Ang hirap. Doon ako nahihirapan fillers.
Hindi ako marunong yung maliliit na dot. Ang gagawin ko dito is splatter ko to.
Pwede. Automatic, meron
Automatic yon, meron ka kaagad Kaya lang kasi metallic siya so mahirap mag-splatter.
Oo, true.
Gandang mag-glaze. Look I will remove my, hindi niyo makikita. Virtual back.
Image. Ang ganda. Iba talaga pag Tokyo finds.
Yes to Tokyo Finds. Wow, nice, Miss Beth.
Diba?
Wow, Donna.
Pakita natin, ha? Tada! Let's show. Donna, show mo again. Donna is with us. Wait lang.
Ito yung gamit ko. Nagsisisi na ako na hindi ako nakabili pa ng Tokyo Finds.
Layo pa naman kasi.
Parang maganda nga yung bago nila na matte, yung dating. Parang iba yung
Ayaw nga
kanya. Ang ganda.
mukhang I'll go na talaga with the 90.
So, Mickey,
Yung-
Sandra, Emmanuel, and Lourdes, are you painting with us? I hope you can show your work if you are.
Yes.
So,
Maya-mayang mga yan. Normally, they will,
There.
yeah.
wow, nice.
Wow!
Ang composition. Bara-bara
Pero,
lang.
pero yeah, medyo, that's a good way to start. Very nice.
Oh,
Thank you.
and Sandy always does, whenever somebody demonstrates, she always has her output. Ganun siya.
Wow. So, ito yung sa Bento Picasso 90.
Michelle.
Maganda yung sa Bento Picasso. Parang iba yung colors na lumalabas. Ano?
Maganda siya.
Parang medyo neon siya. Neon type.
Ang
Parang
ganda.
Nagsishine pa rin naman, pero matte finish.
Mm-mm.
So the subscribers have any questions for Thea? Ako, naitanong ko na lahat. Ang daya ko, no? So, naitanong ko lahat. Habang nagpuplit ako.
Ma'am, si Thea, na-try mo na ibang paper?
Like,
Like, ibang black paper, not the
meron akong, na-try ko na siya, yung sobrang laki. Nako, sobrang tagal ng paper yun eh. Parang same lang naman. May dating version si Tokyo Finds na black paper, yung loose.
Mm-mm.
So, ito kasi, itong black paper,
namin today. Sean. It's great for Thea, nawala siya.
Pero madali siyang matuyo, ano?
Yes.
Mm-mm.
Matuyo. Thea, let me know when you're done. Nawala ka. Na-disconnect si
Ako na-appreciate ko yung kasi di ba pag watercolor paper, may resistance against the brush.
Mm-mm.
Black paper, parang napaka-smooth niya. Tapos ang creamy nung metallic, di ba?
Thea,
Mm.
press. Mag-hot press ka, Michelle. Ganyan siya ka-smooth.
Ay, pag-hot
Ay,
press.
ako,
Hot press, watercolor. Ganyan siya ka-smooth. Tapos, o kaya Bristol paper. Any form of Bristol paper. Very smooth siya.
Mm-mm.
Ayan, Thea's back. Nawala siya kanina. Yun. So, Bristol paper, very smooth. Tapos yung thick
hello.
man.
Sorry.
Thea, you're back. And sabi ni Michelle, you were ang ganda daw ng paper, very smooth, dire-diretso daw yung, anong tawag doon, Michelle?
yung wala siyang resistance, hindi katulad pag, di ba, pag watercolor paper, parang may resistance between the paper and the brush. Ito kasi pag, di ba, pag black paper, siya, very smooth, tapos creamy yung metallic na paint. So, nakaka-relate ako kay Miss Thea nung sinabi niya na very, siya, relaxing talaga.
Kasi smooth lang. Parang hindi siya nakaka-stress.
Oo. May problem pa rin ako sa warping. Talagang matubig akong maglaro. Grabe. I need to control.
Ay, naalala ko yung Ay, 3 things to control. Yourself, your paint, your brush, and your water.
True yan, di ba?
Mga dialogue.
Nasa board ko pa rin yun. Nasa board ko pa rin yun. Hindi pa natatanggal.
Sino nagsabi nun?
Pinost ko yun dati, tapos naka-relate si Donna ng bongga.
Nice You have to
sino
control
laptop sa
yourself.
board ko?
Sorry, na-disconnect ako. Well, I'm back.
Happens to us also.
Ang black paper lang ba to? Hindi siya maganda sa art?
Pwedeng red,
Um,
pwedeng yellow, lahat ng
this
cardstock na may kulay, pwede.
this is the ito yung sa white paper. This is the Bento Picasso 90. So can you see the shimmer? Itong half itong 1, 2, 3, 4. So those are the metallics. So ganyan yung effect niya sa on white. Medyo matte finish din naman. So it looks nice on white din naman. So yun na nga, I think the Tokyo Finds journals are one of the prizes for the aficionados. So yeah, just to
Yung
showcase
ganda.
some.
Pa yun, Thea, hindi pa nila alam yun.
Hindi pa ba nila alam yun? Sorry. Pero di ba naka-post na ano yung mga prizes to win? Di ba Tokyo Finds journal?
November, meron silang bagong, ay, ang ganda ng bird na yon. Favorite ko yan.
Hummingbird.
Iba talaga siya kapag nakikita namin ng live, tapos person versus picture. Katulad yung rose na yan, nakita ko yan sa IG mo, pero mas maganda siya ngayon sa paningin ko.
Thanks. So, yun na. I try to do, parang marami pa akong unfinished work dito. I'll try to explore seascape. Na hindi ko pa maumpisahan. Pero yun na, thanks to Miss Beth when she invited me dun sa urbanscape, medyo na-explore ko ang landscape painting. So yun, parang I try to explore other stuff, not flower related. Pero I still go back to my flowers.
Ganda mo mag-landscape, Thea, tsaka urbanscape.
Tatry ko nga. May in-enroll nga ako sa domestica. Hindi ko pa rin binubuksan hanggang ngayon. Tagal ko nang binayaran.
Are there any more questions from our subscriber?
Excited for Donna.
Uy, grabe.
So if you have any questions, feel free to message me or through Aficionados. So yan, Miss Beth can easily relay to me yung questions. Again, thank you so much. I really enjoyed having this time with Aficionados subscribers, and feel free to invite me again para makastay ako longer. So, I'll try to stay and watch Donna's demo kasi hindi pa naman sobrang busy dito. Almost busy. Nakaset up na. So,
Thea,
ano yun?
Please, everyone, you can follow Thea over at Instagram. Her Instagram handle is at thea.ong, and she has a Facebook page at Craft Design by Thea.
Yes.
Kasi Thea, rin yan shy din yan, parang ako. Kaya, yung nagsasabi.
Introverts, oo. Thank you.
Thank you, Thea. Join ka lang. Natin si Donna.
Okay.
So, now we are done with Thea, wherein she used the Pearlescent Watercolor. So basically, Pearlescent Watercolors are opaque watercolors that are shimmering. So it's very good on dark paper, like black paper, any paper that you have, cardstocks that has color. 180 GSM would work. Just don't use so much water. Synthetic brushes are good to use as well. You can layer with them, but as Thea said a while ago, you have to use analogous colors that go together. And in composing your watercolor florals using the Pearlescent, you have to begin with the end in mind, okay? According to her. So I will quote her on that. And also, she does a lot of fillers, which Michelle and I doesn't do so much. So we need to work on that. And those are the things that my nuggets of gold from Thea's demonstration today. Would you like to add anything, Michelle?
No, you said everything. Everything. You took note of everything. Good job.
Now we are going to explore gouache. So gouache is a fancy name that I have encountered, but I really like it because one, the word itself is very attracting because I'm like a cat. My husband tells me I'm a cat because curiosity always happens to me. So what are gouache? How do you spell gouache? It's so hard to remember the spelling. And how do you pronounce gouache? So the way you spell it and the way you pronounce it is different. So it's very interesting. So later, gouache is an opaque watercolor. And again, this is another side of the things that we do for watercolors. And Donna will demonstrate how we can use gouache in creating our calabasa, our squash florals that she posted. And I was really attracted to it, and it's very timely for the Halloween for today. So I will introduce Donna. Donna Chamos by Ken is a self-taught calligrapher painter currently based in Baguio. So her weather is so nice for painting. But when I go there, I will probably sleep because of the nice weather. She started her calligraphy journey while staying in Manila in 2018, then started to learn watercolor florals in 2019. From then on, she attended some painting on different surfaces like wood, leather, and fabrics. Her fabric paintings are really awesome. Her current post on the wall, Wolf is so really, really good. She is although she is still studying and exploring, these leads her to work on her current passion project, which are hand-painted crafts in Baguio. So if you happen to see and you happen to be in Instagram, you can follow Donna at Donna by Ken. I don't know if I pronounce it correctly, but that's the way I pronounce it. So Donna will show you how to pronounce it later on, but I pronounce it as Donna by Ken. And let's welcome Donna, everyone. Hello, Donna. Are you there?
Hi, Donna.
There's Donna. There she is. Hey, Donna. I will ask you to unmute.
Ayun. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Ayun. God, I can't hear you yet.
You are on Spotlight. Are you having a hard time zooming in? Are you zooming in?
Yes, ayan.
Okay. I will remove the Spotlight first so that you can zoom in. That normally happens when there. Okay. Incidentally, the ceramic plate that Donna is using will be what will be our prize for the November subscriber giveaway. Am I right, Michelle?
It's one of our prizes for the subscriber.
Yes. There. So for the participants, kindly prepare your gouache. So gouache can be your opaque watercolors. If you don't have gouache, just put white on your watercolor. It will turn into gouache. Also, if you have poster paints, that student grade gouache, you may use them. I especially love Sakura. They did not pay me to say it, but Sakura is really one of the best poster paints I've tried. It's very thick and very opaque, and I love the colors very much. Okay, Donna, are you ready? Donna, you can unmute. You are in mute mode. You would have to pardon Donna. This is her first time to do creation. There.
Yeah. I'm so sorry. Alam, nag-feedback dito sa isa.
That's okay, Donna.
You have to turn off the volume on one of your device, Donna. Okay, there. So you have to unmute one. So there are two Donnas. Okay, where's the other one? Donna, you have to
I
turn
think
off,
turn off na lang the other one.
like, turn off the volume of your iPad. Okay, there. Oh, she exit. Okay, there. You can start.
Yes. Good morning, everyone. Yes, thank you for the introduction, Miss Beth. Thank you, Watercolor Aficionados, for having me. Ay.
Hinga muna, Donna. Hinga muna.
Kaya mo yan, Donna.
Yes.
Pareho pala
Okay.
tayong
For the gouache. Oh my God. So these are the gouache that I'm going to use, yung Bebeo. So these are the colors that I'll be using for today's demonstration. So we have the yellow ochre, the lemon, primary yellow, vermilion, emerald green, permanent white, primary cyan, and the spring green. So for today's demo, I'll be doing this one. So the blue pumpkin with the marigolds, the daisy, the solidaster, and the Queen Anne's lace. These are our sprays. So our main flower here is the marigold. So let's start. So for this one, I start with a sketch because I can. I have to prepare for it. So for the pumpkin, let's do the pumpkin first. So this is the round one. So just a light sketch. So para tayong gagawa lang ng mga banana shapes. Parang banana shapes here. There. And then for the arrangement, we're gonna do a round type of flower arrangement. So parang ganyan siya. So that we know what the arrangement will look like and where to put the flowers. So for main flowers, we have the marigolds, right? So I will position them here, one down here. So parang triangular shape na siya, na parang ganyan. This one will be facing towards us. This one will be facing towards the left. And this one will be facing towards the right. Then we'll be having two smaller marigolds that will be yellow. So we'll put here, and then our daisies we will be positioning here, and then here. And then we will be putting the sprays here na in between. So that's how I start with my composition. I try to position the flowers and envision them where to place them. Kasi minsan pag wala ako sa pag hindi ko naiisip siya, hindi maayos yung composition. So for the compositions, I start to look at Pinterest photos, look at the arrangements, look how the flowers are um, arranged from each other. If I'm saying that right. Okay. So we will start painting na rin. So for first, we will start with the pumpkins. So for the pumpkins, we'll be using primary cyan and then the emerald green. So for this one, I just put like a pea size on the palette. And then right here. And then for this, parang I got into the what's this na? Parang I got into the notion of just putting a drop of water. Yan. Because you always have to mix it with water to come up with a creamy consistency. Tama ba, Miss Beth? Creamy or buttery? Buttery, creamy. In between buttery and creamy. Oh. So for this, I'll be using the Raphael number 6 brush, not flat brush, pero pwede rin yung ganitong brush. The periwinkle. I always like to use different kinds of brush kasi doon ko nakikita yung mga different strokes na bibigay niya. So let's start off with the darker color. Yan. So here, we start the, what color is this again? Emerald green at the bottom. Yeah. For gouache, we like to start using the darker colors first, going to the lighter colors. Unlike sa regular watercolor, we start from the lightest to the darkest. But for gouache, we start with the darkest. But then sometimes yung lightest to darkest if you want na may mga instances na we want something to be seen. Just going up. From the bottom going up for the darker part of the pumpkin. Then we'll go to the cyan blue and add a little bit of white. Just a little bit there.
So for gouache, we start from dark to light.
Yes, that means
Madonna.
that's so here we start naman with using the cyan blue and white on the top part of the pumpkin. Drag it down. But sometimes I blend it in between here, where the blue and the green meet. I try to blend it, but it's a bit wet. Since I have no more emerald green on my palette, I will add a bit here. And just a little bit of water again, just a drop. With gouache, we have to control also our water because we don't want it like to be runny. We still want to have that creamy consistency, or else the colors will turn out muddy when it's joined together na or blended together na. I always like using black paper with gouache. Parang mas lumalabas din kasi yung colors. You can also totally paint on craft paper. I've done some paintings like from Miss Michelle's Sunday painting challenge. I've done some gouache paintings with her challenges then. Add some more.
Rona, do you use your
If you're using yes, Miss Beth.
do you use your paints, gouache paint thickly? As in no water?
Yeah. Yes, just less water. Kasi parang I'm satisfied with the consistency na ganito kasi it's easier to paint on the black paper. And then parang if there's more water kasi parang tendency is nagbabuckle and the colors won't pop out. Parang ganun. Yun yung napansin ko while using gouache.
Rona, you also use acrylic paints. How do you distinguish gouache and acrylic paints?
With gouache and acrylic paints, kasi si gouache, it reactivates with water, right? So with acrylic kasi, it dries permanent na. So I use usually gouache then for my acrylic practice. So whenever, like for example, I need to practice on some particular flower and hindi ko pa kayang yan sa mga fabrics or mga bag paintings ko. For example, I practice it first on the using gouache. Parang ganon.
Do you use white a lot, Donna?
Yes. Mas lumalabas din yung with most of my gouache paintings, pinaka nagagastos na color is white. Actually, siya na yung pinakamaliit out of the tubes that I have. So, it's best then na you always have white gouache on hand para pag naubusan ka, okay na, sometimes.
Marami akong nauubusan ng white, pero marami akong poster paint. But you know why I have a lot
Yes,
of
poster paint.
I use it for for calligraphy, poster paint.
Yes, poster paint is also good. Ang poster paint na nagamit ko is si Sakura din and then si Dong parang nag-explore na rin ako sa kanila.
For gouache, ang
So,
problem,
naging like,
nagda-dry siya kaagad. How would you, can you, how many layers do you have for your gouache? Normally.
how many layers? Normally, marami nga eh. Pero, if I'm not satisfied with my painting, I just wait for it to dry and then paint over it. That's the good thing about gouache is, kunyari nagkamali ka, just wait for it to dry, then you can reapply again the gouache or you can correct again the painting with yung tamang color that you need for your painting, parang ganun. It's a very forgiving, as long as you know na you have to wait for it to dry. Kasi if you paint on it wet, it reactivates, or you have to be careful also with the water that you put for the second layer, third layer, fourth layer. Kasi if it's too watery, tendency is it becomes activated and then parang yung layer underneath will come out dun sa bagong paint na nilagay mo. For example, if you wanted to put some white on top, parang if your white or your lighter color is painted on the darker part of your painting, tendency is na activate siya kaagad. So for this, you just have to be very patient with gouache, wait for it to dry, then reapply. For example, this one medyo dry na, no? So what I do here, I need to put some highlight. So pag medyo dry, you can feel it naman. It's like chalky consistency na. Parang ganon. And then just a little water. O kaya, for example, you're gonna put highlights na on this. I'm gonna put highlights na on this. Ano. So when it's dry, normally, mas maganda na rin yung straight from the tube. Not activated na lang with water. Parang ganun. So for this naman, the highlights na I'm doing na rin. So medyo dry yung brush. Parang dry technique. Dry brush technique. So parang wash color straight from the tube. Dip the tip of the brush. And then from the top to the middle, like a little bit to the middle. So from the top, you just drag it like that. Sometimes I need some more. Make sure na it's not too runny lang talaga.
For gouache, Don,
Kuha pa rin
what
natin
kind of
yung
brushes do you use and how do you clean them?
what kind of brushes I use. I use a mixture of watercolor brush. Sometimes I use this also, yung Princeton Neptune. I like it kasi mas smooth ang dating niya when it comes to painting the flowers. So, if I want the flowers na hindi nakikita yung brush marks, I use this one. Pero meron yung mga iba na I want the brush marks to be seen. Para there are flowers kasi na nakikita yung lines. So, this is the brush that I use, the Raphael Hobby. I bought it at, what's this na? Art Bar. So, this one is a nylon brush. It's a bit, hard ng konti. Parang ganun. And then sometimes, pwede naman yung mga ganito, si Tokyo Finds. Also. And then, mga ganito. I use this for the spray flowers. O kaya pag I need like details na maliliit na flowers, this is what I use. Si Select Liner brush. So yun, parang maganda din to explore. I'm still exploring din kasi. So parang the fun thing about using gouache is you can use different kinds of brushes to come up with different kinds of
Gouache doesn't destroy the brushes.
O kaya, ano naman. So far, no. Yun lang, you just have to wash it off right away. Kasi medyo mas sticky yung consistency niya. So when it dries, if you didn't wash it, then you left it to dry on your brush. Sometimes it gets stuck in between. So it's better na you really have to wash it in between paintings. Don't leave the wash to dry on your brush. Okay, so I think I'm done with the pumpkin. We'll move on now to the flowers. Leaves. I start with the leaves and the spray. So these are my backgrounds. So we're gonna use here the spring green for the bigger flowers. Flowers naman ako ng flowers. Leaves pala, leaves. So I have 3 types of leaves that we'll be doing. So we have the bigger leaves and then the eucalyptus, and then the leaves of the marigolds. So we start off with the bigger leaves. So with this, for the bigger leaves, I'll be using naman na the Tokyo Fines number 5 brush. To wet it a bit. And then mix. And then add again a little bit of white. Para mas mag-pop out siya. Mix. Medyo thick pa rin yung consistency. Oh, I think I need to put in a bit of water again. If you're using the one from the the palette, like for example the Himi gouache, you can just use the spray para ma-reactivate din ulit yung si gouache. So we'll start off with putting the bigger. We'll put one here. Here. Then one here. For the composition naman, I get ideas from the internet, Pinterest, ganyan, and then I change up the flowers. Here, then maybe one more here. And next, we'll do the eucalyptus naman. So for the eucalyptus, so yun siya. Oh. So I did a light sketch. So ganito siya. Meron siyang maliit na leaf here. Here. And then maybe one more here. And then here. And then maybe one more here. Using the same brush. So for the eucalyptus, I'll be adding a bit of primary cyan here to the mixture that we had earlier for the bigger leaves. And these are yung mga background leaves natin. And then just like that. Start off with the stem. Sorry, I started off with the leaves kaagad. So for the eucalyptus, start off with the stem. That. Start at the top. One more here. And then there. We leave that first to dry. Then we add the highlights later. So next we move on to the flowers first. So for the flowers, we're going to use vermilion. I thought of using what's this na? I chose the marigolds for this demo. Kasi October flower daw ang marigolds, and it instantly also reminded me of the movie Coco. If you know that cartoon, diba
What
yun yung
movie?
flowers na ginamit na nilalagay?
What movie again, Donna?
Coco.
Coco, oo.
Yes, Coco. Di ba yun yung flowers na ginagamit nila sa ofrenda nila, and that's what they use parang yun yung flower para malead sila sa sa what's this na? Dun sa afterlife.
I remember the
That
movie,
movie.
the cartoons, but I don't remember the marigold. Ang galing mo sa detail, ha?
No, I've been researching also about yung sa what's this na? Yung Dia de los Muertos. And the flower that they use for Dia de los Muertos is the marigolds. Di ba yung Dia de los Muertos is the parang festivities sa Mexico, yung what they call the Day of the Dead. Yes. So yun, kaya marigold. Tapos I found out na October flower din ang marigold. So that's why I chose the marigolds.
Tsaka maganda yung color niya. Kasi siya, consistent siya with autumn colors.
Yes, very orange. Orange, yellow, mga ganun. So it really went with the autumn theme.
Right.
Okay, so next for the flowers pala. So we have the outer flower. We have 3 layers kasi for the marigold. So we have the center, the outer flowers, and then the secondary flowers. So for the outer flowers, medyo darker siya. So we start from the outside. So we're using again the flat brush, this one. This is meron kasi mga flat brush na ganito. Pero I must prefer yung mga ganitong klaseng flat brush. Yung medyo mas sexy.
Okay. Yeah, kasi yung isa masyadong malaki, no? For the petals.
Yes.
Oo. Tama.
Yes, for the petals. Pwede siguro to if your paper is bigger. Pero if for this kind of size, kasi this is half of an A4 paper pala. Yes. So when we start, let's go to the flowers. For the flowers, so I do 2 strokes or 3 strokes. So for example, ito sample paper. For a petal, we do this. So 1, and then 2. Yeah. For the next 1, 2, 3. Pwedeng 2, pwedeng 3 strokes. And it makes this, I love the brush marks of this one with this brush kasi parang yun na rin yung parang veins ng flowers, making it yung parang details na rin ng flowers.
Is it advisable, kunwari, yung brush mo for the leaves and brush mo for the flowers magkaiba? Kasi mahirap mag-rinse ng brush with wash.
Yes. I recommend using yung parang mas marami kang brush on hand. Talaga. Para hindi siya hindi nag-accumulate yung wash sa, kasi yun it's very chalky, and then you really have to wash it talaga right after. Yun yung naman yung sagwash. Parang also ganun din with acrylics din. So let's start with the 3. Ay, baka naman time na ako. Okay. So we start. Not yet. My baby's here. So it's okay also to turn the paper when you're, hindi ko pa kaya yung ginagawa ni Miss Beth na yung yan. So for the outer flowers, ganyan. Medyo mas darker siya. So when we go to the second layer of flowers, we add a bit more of yellow. This is like one stroke painting also. Parang yung kila Don Eduberry, mga ganon, if you're familiar with her. Loading 2 kinds of colors sa isang brush.
Love you, mommy.
Yes, I know. Yes. And lighter na sa gitna. So next we move on to the flower that will be facing on the left side. So then we start off with the light naman. So using the same brush, since we ended up with the light one here, we start at the top naman ng yung flower facing left. So here, 2. And the next layer, 2. Yung sketch natin will be a guide. So kung mapapansin nyo, medyo oblong siya. So that we know that the flower will be facing to the left. Next, as we go on to the second layer, medyo darker na. And then later on, we're done with the flower that's facing on the left. Later on, we'll be adding its, is na, what we call na that part of the flower, yung sa may, the one holding the flower, the petals. Next, we move on. Here to the other flower. Dito naman na tayo sa isang flower facing the right naman. Oops. Okay. Okay, there we have. Now we're done with those flowers. Then next, we move on to the
Yung ano?
spring flowers. Ay,
Ayaw ng lamok.
yung
Ako? Or iba yun? Ibang filler yun.
ibang filler. Ito naman yung Queen Anne's Lace. So ito yung mga maliliit naman na this one. the white flowers, queen and slates. So we'll be using also this one. And then adding a bit of white again. Di ba magasto sa white? So we'll be putting maybe one here. So we start off with the stem. And then some U shapes. U shape. Tapos may line dyan. And then another one. I'm using here pala the liner. I always like to use this for yung mga foliage na sprays. So lightly lang. Kasi I can't achieve this using the tip of the round brushes. So yung ginagamit ko talaga for this kind of flowers is yung this one, the liner brush. This always my go-to. Minsan ito na lahat sa lahat ng painting. Isang brush ito na lang minsan. Then maybe one here. It helps that you turn the paper din para may parang whimsical flow ang mga flowers and leaves. Then maybe one here. For this one, it doesn't have to be perfect. Alam mo naman si nature, hindi rin perfect. Hindi rin maganda yung super neat. Hindi talaga kaya ikutin ng kamay ko. So I just turn the paper. Maybe one here. And here. I'm just using yung remaining na lang na nasa brush. I don't, ano na lang. Parang depende. Para medyo yung darker pa rin yung itsura. Kasi once you redip your one on the paint, parang mas kita siya. Pero I like yung ganito, yung may transitions na light and then the dark here. Parang may depth pa rin. Now we'll move on to the tiny flowers now, queen and lace. So here I'm using na yung si yellow ochre, and then I'll be mixing it with white again. Start at the top. Parang mga little comma strokes lang. From the outside going in. Ayan, can you see ba? And here. Just like Miss Thea said, maganda yung ganitong mga accents sa mga arrangements. There's one more down. So once we're done with that, di pa tayo tapos with that flower. We top it off with a white color. Here, just on top of the petals that we put using the yellow ochre. So here, just dots na lang. And so this is how we make the Queen Anne's lace. There. With the whiter highlights like this one, it's better na straight from the tube na. So buttery consistency. The paper I'm using here pala is yung from iFX, the Works Premium Black Paper. I tried using other papers. Kaso meron yung iba na hindi ganito katingkad yung labas. So I saw the difference kasi when I started to see the difference between two different papers.
How many GSM siya?
This one, what's this na? The one I did here is the 100 something, diba? It's good enough. Pero this one, for the demo, I couldn't find the original one. I used the original pack of this one. So I used this one, I'm using the 300 GSM. This is what it looks like. Ito yung gamit ko ngayon.
Wow. 300 GSM siya.
Yes. I bought kasi different weights ng paper nito. Kasi, pero ito, this is also nice for parang pag gusto mo card, ganyan. Hindi siya nagbabuckle masyado. Pag yung ganito, yun yung napansin ko. This one. Pero for the 140 GSM, it did buckle, but medyo nag-flatten din naman siya.
First time ko narinig about 300 GSM na black paper.
I didn't see life after black.
Ayun.
300.
Oh.
prefer din talaga, for example, sabihin ko na rin pa na para you will know also. I tried Burano. If you're familiar with Burano black paper, iba yung tingkad niya. Pero mas matingkad yung gouache using this particular paper. Maybe just like din yung sa Tokyo Fines, yung ganito, yung maganda yung labas. Pero meron yung mga black papers around there na parang, ay, pag nag-paint ka parang nakaka-frustrate kasi hindi nakukuha yung color na gusto mo. So yun, parang dun din nakita ko, ay, nag-experiment na tuloy ako. Yeah, yun. So those were the things that I noticed then while exploring with gouache. So yung using different kinds of paper then.
Hot press
Ang
paper
next ko din,
for gouache.
Hot press is ideal.
Bristol is ideal actually.
Yes, I'll try that.
Yung multimedia paper, okay din.
Yeah, that's fine. Multimedia paper by Stradmore is very nice.
Yes.
Kasi smooth din yun eh.
So, oo, basta mga smooth papers, pwede. Yun yung napansin ko, yun yung gusto nila. Yun yung gusto ng, what do you call this, ng gouache. I also tried gouache on craft paper. Pwede rin siya on craft notebook. Ganun.
Craft notebook. Tsaka yung mga bags doon na. Yung mga bag yun, yung paper craft made out of craft paper. Nice to paint with. Even the
Yes, actually I tried.
paper
Yung
bag.
craft box, I tried.
Ang sarap mag-paint doon.
Yes, yun yung mga magagandang paintan. Like this one, no, craft paper. Ang gamit ko dito si Limelight. So, ganyan yung labas niya.
Ang ganda.
It's also nice.
Napaka-dainty.
Tapos pwede rin siya on vellum. You remember this, Miss Michelle?
Ay, I
Vellum.
remember that. Not
Gamit ko
that.
dito.
So nice.
Yan. Yun yung parang maganda talaga yung wash din. Parang pang practice o kaya pag yung instant na kailangan mo ng ano, tapos ayaw mo gumamit ng watercolor paper. Kasi mahal yung mga watercolor paper. So yun, pwedeng pang crafting din. Actually, pwede rin siya sa craft boxes. Craft boxes. I tried painting on it with craft boxes.
Do you put
Pag may
fixatives?
mga natitira sa palette,
Like yan, yung craft box. Do you put fixative on it or not na? Kasi di ba pag nabasa yan,
parang no,
ma-reactivate siya. Mas
na-activate. Yes. I think pwede siya. Mahirap din pag fixative. Ay, sis na. Pwede yung fixative siguro para mag-stay put siya. Parang ganun. Para pag nabasa, hindi siya ma-reactivate. Ang na-try ko lang na lagyan din is yung, yung kay Focus, yung outdoor sealer, trinay ko.
siyang glue, ano?
Kasi medyo,
Sealer.
yes, ganito yung labas niya, oh. It's shiny.
So it makes it glossy.
Pero medyo yes, medyo na-reactivate siya. Pero I think for this one, for wash, tapos lalagyan mo siya ng outdoor sealer. Kailangan yata yung brush mo is yung very, very soft para hindi mag-move yung, hindi mag-activate yung yung wash.
But normally what I
Parang doon
use,
din ako nagiging careful.
I use that for acrylics. Yung outdoor sealer.
Mm-mm. Yes. Ako kasi parang trinayal ko lang. Experiment lang. I'll just do a little outline then for this one pala. Since it's dry already. So using yellow. Kasi there are marigolds that have outlines na ganito na yellow. Kahit not totally around the petals, pero just like on some parts only. I think pwede rin i-mix si gouache with the outdoor sealer or yung mga medium pag gusto nyo na medyo glossy siya. Kasi this one, di ba si gouache dries out very matte. There. Para mas kita lang yung petals. So then, need to add more white again. Yan. So light strokes lang for the outer part of the petal.
Michelle, pareho kayo ni Donna.
Pareho.
Mabagal, magpinta.
Oo, totoo.
Sorry.
Pero mas mabagal ako.
Dahan-dahan magpaint. Ano talaga, very
Very careful. I think napansin mo ata yun when the day I met you, Miss Beth.
Di ba na hindi ko napansin yon? Kasi di ba, bakit ba? Hindi ko siya napansin kasi parang hindi ko siya na-monitor na all throughout. Di ba most of the time ako dumadaldal. Pero kapag yung ganito sa demo, when you try to experience how the speed of the yung nagde-demonstrate, doon ko siya na-feel. Like si Michelle, since every month, nagde-demo siya, na-feel ko na, napakabagal mo mag-paint, Michelle. Kaya, na-relieve ko siya today. Di ba si Thea, medyo mabilis si Thea din eh. So, parang nahabol ko si Thea.
Yeah.
So, yung face mo, na-feel ko yan kay Michelle.
I don't know. Very mindful.
Okay lang siya, Donna. Don't take it. Ano lang talaga ako. Kontrabida kay Michelle.
Ay, grabe. Kontrabida agad.
Kasi magkaiba pa kami mag-paint talaga. Mabilis si Beth. Yung 3 painting ni Beth, isa lang sa akin.
Nung painting
Ang galing na kasi ano. Kung may speed painting contest, panalo na si Miss Beth. May overtime na ata ako. Oh my gosh, hindi ko pa alam yung time.
No.
You have time.
Okay.
Pero tapos na ako, Donna. Naunahan kita.
Grabe, o, diba?
Eh, syempre, di ko sinunod lahat ng sinabi mo.
Si Beth, nandun.
Hindi nanibago ako, no? Nanibago ako sa gouache ulit. It's been a while. Kailan ba to? Huli ko Mother's Day eh. The last time I used this was Mother's Day. Nakakapanibago siya.
Nahihirapan ako sa kanya.
Sino yan? Si Michelle?
Yeah.
Nahirapan ka?
Nahirapan ako sa gouache kasi nga parang feeling ko hirap ako sa sobrang creamy niya. Tapos,
Yeah? So, parang mamamatay tayo pag walang tubig.
oo. Kaya ang
Ganun yung feeling ko eh.
hindi siya ganun, hindi siya ganun ka solid. Yung
Maganda. Tama lang. Hintayin mo lang matuyo.
nadala sa lighting. Pag sa totoo hindi, may siya, lalo na yung petals, parang transparent siya eh. Hirap ako.
Pag transparent, parang dagdagan mo lang siya ng white.
Okay.
Lalo na yung yellow paint, yung lemon yellow, napaka-transparent niya.
Kailangan pala talaga may white. Okay.
Para maging opaque.
Yes. Para mas lumabas siya, yes.
Alright.
Kaya meron kang hand-body,
They normally paint everything with white first. Even when
done this piece of paper.
sila ng
Para you
white.
can see, para doon ako nangyari.
Mag-freeze si Donna. Ayun.
Ay, nag-freeze ba ako? So,
Okay.
Pag nag-freeze, ibig sabihin humihina yung signal eh, pag ganon.
Oo.
yeah.
May time siya na nawawala. Tapos after a while, pero syempre, Donna, yung flowers ko, hindi kasing dainty ng sayo. Malalaki bulaklak ko.
Full sheet naman ang gamit mo, Beshi?
Ha?
Full sheet?
Hindi, no? 11 lang, no?
Akala ko full sheet ka.
Wala full sheet number na dark paper.
Ay, wala ba? Wala.
Wala pa ako nakita. Pero baka meron, cartolina.
Cartolina.
Diba? Ang laki-laki nila.
Right, Hindi mo
Yun.
Nagmukhang punis yung akin. Kasi gamit ko, flat.
Basta marigold
Okay lang yan. Oo. Yung marigolds ko, I had to practice it. But kailangan practice lang talaga siya. Kasi hindi ko rin siya nakuha the first time I tried it. So talagang practice.
Parang ang hirap niyang kunin.
thick yung paint, no?
Yeah.
Thick yung paint. So, nag-layer ako eh. Yung una kong layer, medyo watery. Pina-dry ko. Tapos pinatungan ko ng thicker paint.
I see. Yan ang maganda nga lang sa gouache. Correct after.
Yep.
Yes, pag na-dry, you can correct it. Paint over it, basta dry na siya. Yun talaga, yun din yung experience with gouache is how you control talaga yung water din. Very tricky siya. So parang kailangan mix ka ng mix hanggang makuha mo yung right consistency. So, parang to check.
Mix ka nga ng mix. Right color and right
Yeah.
Oh.
It's nice to have also yung parang a piece of, a piece of paper, sorry, a piece of paper of hand. Para kunyari pang-test ka lang. Para makita mo kung satisfied ka na sa then you can go through na with the painting.
Saka mabilis dumumi yung gouache. Parang you can only mix mga 2 to 3 colors. After nun, nagiging muddy siya.
Ay, talaga?
Nararamdaman ko eh.
Ako kasi normally, ano lang talaga, I don't mix more than 2 pag wash. Kasi nga, hirap ako. Kaya hindi ko pa na-experience yung muddy.
Nako, I mix all of them.
Yeah, ako din, more on 2 colors din kasi parang nakakatakot na. Pag nag-mix na sila, iba na yung color.
Nag-iiba nga yung color.
Yes.
Aiming for shadows, ang ganda nung muddy color.
Ah, yes.
So tama lang yung pag nag-mud ka na, ibig sabihin dapat nagsha-shadow ka na nung time na yon.
Yes. O kaya you can put on like lighter color para naka-highlight na lang.
Tama.
Very fun talaga ang wash kasi talaga din. Kasi you can correct it. Pwede mong habulin na kunyari may nagkamali ka. You can top it off na lang. Para siyang ano yung correctional tape.
Oo, no. Pangbura yung white.
Yes.
Snacko, I think.
Patingin!
Dali. Tanggalin ko yung background kong makulit. Para makita nyo.
Naka-spotlight si Donna, hindi kita makita.
Wait lang.
Pwede palang, no? Sige. Alam mo naman ako.
Okay, mag-gallery review ako.
Yan.
Tada!
Ang laki, ang ganda, nakakainis.
Kita! Ang hirap makita.
So big! Like me. Hindi talaga ako maliit.
Maganda.
Kulay niya. Ang ganda-ganda.
Yes. Actually, Donna, kasi maganda, nagko-complement yung yellow, orange, tsaka blue, di ba?
Yes. Ang cheat ko pala dyan, nag-check ako sa internet yung palette scheme minsan to check kung ano yung mga colors din na nagko-complement.
Oo, maganda. Tama yun.
Color wheel.
I'm not familiar pa masyado with yung complementary color. So, yun yung go-to ko. I check the internet. Tignan ko kung ano yung mga palette schemes. Tapos that's what doon na lang ako nagbe-base minsan ng color schemes ko. When I'm doing when I'm trying to compose something na it's different na parang minsan kasi ayaw ko nagbe-base masyado sa kung ano yung nakikita ko sa internet. So I want to change things up. So that's what I do. Parang tingnan ko kung ano yung mga colors. Tapos papalitan ko na lang yung color scheme. Same flowers pero different na different style.
Kasi yung color wheel,
Yan, last leaves na ako.
Ganda yung color palette ni Donna.
yes. Natuwa ako dun sa pumpkin na blue.
Ako din, tuwang-tuwa ako dyan. Di ba nakita mo yung autumn na blue ko? Inspired by Donna yun eh. Gumawa nga ng pumpkin. Mas madali kayang gumawa ng pumpkin kesa nang sa vase, no?
Kaya din blue pumpkin kasi 'di ba meron yung Miss Meth, 'di ba meron yung nib na blue pumpkin. Yun yung favorite ko din na nib for calligraphy. So parang yun, kaya yun, blue pumpkin. Sakto meron naman talagang blue pumpkin. Kaya yun yung nagawa ko.
O di ba si Michelle, gumawa ng lahat ng klaseng pumpkin.
Kulang na lang gata. Pwede nang lutuin.
Ala, ang dami ko ng utang kay Miss Michelle. Hindi na ako nakakagawa ng niya. Hindi na ako nakakahabol sa mga challenge na every Sunday.
Starting tomorrow, feeling ko makakahabol ka. Magugustuhan mo.
Naiingit na ako kapag may nagpo-post nga eh. Naiingit mo.
Hindi ako naiinggit.
Sabi ko, alam, na-miss ko na.
I try my
Parang mas
best.
mahirap na yung ngayon, yung ano na to, yung lamppost. Tapos ang dami-dami leaves.
Oo. Yung may building pa sa likod. Si Beth, pinaka-complete niya. Ano yung sabi mo dun, Beth? Ano, 2 vanishing points. Oh my God.
Ayun, hindi ko na nag-gets yun.
Ang dami
Yun ang
din yung picture na si Kendra. Nung chinek ko, hindi lang 2, 3 pa nga ata.
Ay, ako, basta hindi ko gagawin yung ginawa ni Ninya na ganon. Hindi ko kaya yon. Hindi pa kaya ng brain ko. Oh my God. Ano kasi ako
Diba? Super challenging.
hindi ko kaya masyado yung technical. Nahihirapan ako.
Hindi mo reference photo. Sabi ko, ang hirap naman
Pero
nito.
grabe, Miss Michelle, sobrang natuwa ako sa mga challenges mo. Doon din ako na nahasa-hasa sa mga challenges mo.
I'm happy. Ako din, nahasa ako sa mga challenges ko.
Kasi ang sarap mag-paint ni Michelle.
Ha?
Pag mo mag-paint, parang in 1 week, parang halos everyday nakakapag-paint ka.
Recently, hindi. Kasi parang nirarayo mo ako.
Okay.
Wow, ang ganda ng wash florals ni Sandy. May character talaga.
Ay, si Sandy iba. Artistic
Oo.
talaga yan. Pero hindi niya hindi niya na-feel.
Para ako durian eh. Either you love me or you hate me.
Wow!
May hugot oh.
Durian talaga.
Durian.
Acquired taste kasi, no?
Oo.
Maganda talaga yung style mo.
Yung nag-iisipan, yung ganon.
Hindi maganda siya. Very artsy talaga siya.
Yeah, yung style ni Sandy. I will share. Wait ha, pakita ko.
Sige. Tinry ko mag-swipe. Nakita eh.
Ay, naku, itong Facebook ko. Kakatayin ko na tong Facebook na to. Sa totoo lang.
Mag-ano ka? Ay, bakit ba?
Ewan ko sa kanya. Inaaway niya ako. Ting magla-live ako, inaaway niya ako.
Nahirapan ka na naman mag-live?
Yup. Kaya nasa YouTube tayo.
Okay.
Wait ha, I will share Sandy's work. Ganda.
Pero tama ka, ang bagal ni Donna mag-paint.
Sabi sa'yo eh.
Yosi na ako, nakapagkape na ako.
First time, Donna, wag kayong ganyan. Ako 3-4 times na, mabagal pa din.
But in fairness, Michelle, natututo ko ang bagal mo mag-paint. Fairness.
I think kailangan ko rin mag-one. Parang tingin ko na rin itong demo-demo.
Pero I think ano talaga yan ni Don eh. Kasi parang kami ng style din ni Sandy. Kaya mabilis din mag-paint yan si Sandy.
Basta na yung i-share mo. Sabi ko
Sa'yo.
Ang ganda na.
Ito na, wait lang po. Ang aking andali. Ang bagal ng laptop ko, wait lang.
Sige lang.
Kala ko talaga naka-costume ka
Kaya
eh.
nakita nyo na?
Hindi,
Saan?
yan
Ang ganda.
yan yung first.
Pearlescent. Ito yung blush.
Ang ganda.
O, di ba? May character talaga.
Yun!
Kabog na kabog kayo sa character.
Yes!
Ano yan?
Sorry.
Sobra.
Sobra ka, Beth, ha? Buti na lang wala kang ano. Nakakatawa ng Facebook mo, tanggalin mo na nga yan. Baka mamaya meron ka ma-share.
Lord! I like it all. Ganito siya talaga, very colorful. She does ano din kasi acrylics. Sandy does acrylics and she paints on bags as well.
Oh,
Very artistic talaga.
maganda ang strokes ni Sandy. Maganda.
Hindi pang watercolor, ano? Mukhang pang gouache ako or pang acrylic.
Even with watercolor, na-appreciate style
Yung
mo.
kahapon kaganda ha. Yung jungle.
Hindi jungle.
Jungle, yung tree in the jungle ba yan?
Sa watercolor kasi hindi ako marunong mag-handle ng water, ng dami ng tubig. At least ito, walang tubig eh. Kaya kanina yung complaint nyo na masyadong creamy, para sa taong hindi marunong mag-handle ng water, ang sarap naman ito.
Yes.
Tignan mo, hindi pa
Ayan
rin
na.
tapos mag-paint.
Hirap na hirap.
Ang galing. So talagang mas comfortable ka talaga pala sa thick na consistency.
Wala nagra-run, 'di ba? Wala kang hinahabol. Tapos pwede kang
Pwede pang correct.
correct ng mistakes.
Yes.
Pero pwede mo rin siyang gamitin na matubig.
Yes.
If you use it with a lot of water, okay din siya. Normally, gouache is used with less water talaga.
Yung iba,
Unlike watercolor, mas kinapatong ka ng patong dito, ano?
right, oo.
Basta hintayin mo matuyo.
Because just like watercolor, kung hindi tuyo and you make patong, it becomes muddy.
Parang hindi pumapatong yung kulay kapag basa pa siya.
Okay.
Yes, you have to wait for it to dry.
Yes. Bawat medium talaga may learning curve.
Okay. I think I'm done na.
Yay! Ganda.
Basta masabahan kong naglagas.
Sabi ko, ang galing niya, no?
Thank you.
Donna.
Thank you, then. It's a wonderful experience. So, the learning experience ko. I hope maka-demo ulit ako.
Next week po,
I can really start ito para sa sarili ko.
next week pwede proxy kita, Donna.
Agad din.
Grabe, ang kulay. Sobrang makulay ang gouache talaga.
Yes. Depende talaga sa paper. Look at this one, hindi nga siya ganun katingkad. Parang medyo darker siya ng konti. Hindi ko makuha. Basta depende talaga sa paper. Yung notice pag different yung paper. Kasi hindi ko ma-achieve yung ganitong orange.
See, ano ka din, ano? So, you think dahil sa paper yan?
Yes, Miss Beth. Kasi, parang, yes, yun yung napansin ko. Mayroon yung ibang paper na parang siyang nag-oxidize. Parang gano'n yung feeling.
Medyo acidic.
Kasi hindi ko makuha yung kahit nakailang layer na ako with this one, hindi ko pa rin makuha yung orange na lumabas dito. Diba this one parang super orange?
Oo.
This one parang dark orange.
Yeah, dull orange na. Oo. Anong paper again yung ginamit mo dyan sa isa?
Yes.
What paper did you use for the dull orange?
This one,
Anong paper yan?
Burano. This one.
Okay
Burano.
sa akin. Ginagamit ko yan. May difference pala.
Mm-mm.
And then yung isa works.
Mm-mm. This one is a works naman. So, talagang, ewan ko, mas din yung napansin ko So, kaya I'm also curious kung paano yung ibang paper din. Kung lalabas siya.
Gamit mo for both paper.
Mm-mm.
Meron pala.
Wash pa din.
Siguro, acid-free paper, no?
Mm-mm.
Acid-free
Tsaka for this one, siguro, parang napansin ko, mas nag-absorb siya kasi compared to kay works. Parang pagka-layer mo, parang na-absorb na kagad yung tubig in this one. Yun yung napansin ko lang. Mm-hmm. Tapos maganda rin ang wash, di ba? Parang ito regular na craft paper.
Oh, ang ganda-ganda.
Maganda naman sa
Very nice, Donna.
Ang ganda. I remember that.
Hummingbird.
wash siya. So,
Scan mo yan lahat, Donna.
talagang training lang ko rin siya for
Scan mo lahat ng work mo, tapos makagawa to. Napakadaling i-scan nito.
yes. Tapos, you can also experiment yung mga photos ng black, yung background ng flowers. Maganda din mga mga parang pagkuha na din ng inspiration. Kasi doon mo makikita yung parang lumalabas lang din yung lang niya. Yung color lang.
Yes.
Very
This one,
nice.
I got the inspiration from mga photos na black, yung very black ang background.
Actually, yan yung una kong gustong i-demo ni Donna kasi nakita ko yung pumpkin niya. Sabi ko yan kasi in time for Halloween talaga.
Pwede naman,
Hindi ko na in-example yung
Ano yan, Michelle?
pwede naman mag-demo siya ulit nung isa. Yung mga flowers naman na yung mga anthurium.
Maghanap ka ulit ng 5 weeks, ha? Ng buwan para makapag-demo ulit sila.
Next year na.
Anong buwan yon?
Ay, hindi ko pa alam. Mamaya. Tapos dapat live din.
Ganda, done na si Donna.
Yay!
So, dapat pala ako na. Wait lang.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
Pasensya sa first time.
No, you did great. Ang galing mo nga. Ang galing mo kaya. Thank you, thank you.
Pero feeling ko ang dami kong kulang. Patingin ng mga outputs Yung sino yung mga nag-try. Yee! Ganda! Uy, mukha naman siyang marigold.
No, look here, Hindi. Para siyang ni.
May marigold na ganyan. May
Pero-
different kinds of marigold kasi.
Okay. Buti naman. Nakachamba ako.
Pero meron naman talaga, ito kasi yung regular lang nakikita natin. Pero meron din yung parang ibang variety. Ibang variety na yellow. Tapos meron yung parang may pagka-maroon. Tapos may yellow din sa outer outlines ng petals niya. Yun yung nakita ko yun sa iyo.
Okay.
I hope you enjoyed.
Ang gosh. Ito na naman ako. Okay, there we go. Yay, Donna. Thank you. Thank you so much. Summarize natin yung ginawa ko ni Donna. Ikaw naman, Michelle, mag-summarize. Tapos na ako eh.
Nakakainis ka, hindi ako nag-take down ng notes.
Based on memory lang.
Okay, memory lang. Ang ano doon is, when you're using gouache, use very little water para dapat creamy yung consistency. And it's also good if you have a lot of brushes handy so that, for example, if you're using yellows and oranges, you'll be using one brush for that and then another brush for the blues or the greens, ganyan. Kasi nga medyo mahirap siyang i-rinse. What else? Unlike watercolor, you're supposed to start with the dark color first and then once it dries, you can add the lighter color on top. And it's better if you don't mix more than 2 or 3 colors kasi nga the gouache pala can also get muddy. Yan. What else? For yellows and other light colors, it's best if you add white on them so that they would pop. Because if not, they would not be as bright on the black paper.
Yay! Thank you! Tama ba, Donna, lahat ng sinabi namin?
Yes. Yes.
Nakikinig ako!
Yeah, so we'd like to thank Donna for sharing her gouache blue pumpkin for today's event. The next artist that I'm going to introduce is not with us today on the live, but he has provided a video, a simple landscape painting. It's available on Google Classroom, but for the benefit of those members who will be watching this live, I will be playing it on Google Classroom. So I'm going to share it through a video. So let me just share Google Classroom for the watercolor aficionados. So if you can see it now, we actually have 4 classrooms. We started last July, and then we have fruits for August, desserts for August, right? July, August, September. Desserts for September, and then autumn for October. So since we are on the last day for October, we added this recording and this what do you call this? This Halloween trick or treat on the Google Classroom. So the subscribers have this on their classroom, and this one is the tutorial by Jed. So to introduce Jed, let me just go to the video. And let me just also pause, there you go, to introduce Jed. If you know Jed, he's a very good watercolorist. Now, but I asked him to do a basic one. I told him to do a basic demonstration for the beginners to follow. So his IG is Yarina. Actually, I don't know how to pronounce. Yarina Geshonen. And his FB is his personal FB account, Jed Alangi. He's a Baguio-based visual artist working with inks, acrylics, graphite, and watercolor. Jed is largely self-taught and facilitates various art workshops like drawing, printmaking, and watercolor, especially to kids and beginning art enthusiasts. For more than a year now, Jed has been working closely with FAAB, where he mentors and coaches a group of teenage artists with autism, and at the same time works and is an illustrator for Corditex, a project by the Museo Cordillera of the University of the Philippines, Baguio, that is publishing storybooks documenting indigenous weaving traditions of the Philippine Cordillera. Watercolor is a beautiful, challenging, and magical art medium. It teaches the values of planning, patience, and perseverance, which I definitely agree. I haven't practiced all of them, but patience and perseverance, yeah, I know that well. He has also seriously been practicing the medium for the last 4 years and still learning. So there, that's Jed's background, and I will now play his video. Please stay with us until the end of the video. So prepare your watercolors. These are the normal watercolors that we use. You may use your normal or regular watercolor paper. So enjoy the video.
Hi. Let's paint a sky and some mountains. Using the wet into wet technique, we first wet our paper, but not entirely. I'm using a 1-inch flat brush and just water. Oops, there's some lint over there. That happens. No trouble. Now with a light orange, we stain this part of our paper like so. This is just to suggest warmth in our painting. And this warm area is where our sky and earth will meet. Somewhat like a rough horizon line. Now with cobalt blue and a little crimson red, let's paint in some purple streaks on our damp paper. It's a nice purple. We're actually painting spontaneously without any reference photo. Well, this is just sky and mountains, nothing more. And I want to come up with a lot of sky with wispy clouds. Let's add a little bit of ultramarine here, just to create that picture in my mind of a blue afternoon sky. Well, this is the stage where we decide where our clouds are and where our sky would be. With more of that granulating ultramarine over here. Yes, this corner. With the wet into wet technique, we're only given a window of a few minutes to work, or until our paper dries, depending on the weather, of course, and type of paper we're using. This one is pure cotton at 300 GSM. It works wonderfully. Could be imaginative when you paint your skies, and it's a lot of fun. You could paint from memory or from a reference photo just the same. No trouble with that. Sometimes I tend to overdo things, and look, some clouds are turning blue, so let's lift some of the blue off. And maybe soften some areas, do some blending too, like here. So let's start working on the bottom part where our mountains would be to complement our sky. So I continue to wet the paper all the way down to the bottom and let dry. Oh look, more of our blue sky is creeping into our clouds, so let's do more of that lifting with a dry and thirsty brush, wiping the brush as we go. A little bit more. A rolled up piece of tissue does a good job too. That's better. So let me mix a little bit of ultramarine and burnt umber to make Payne's gray. Now we could paint in some shade and shadows in our clouds. I love Payne's gray. Clouds may be made out of water, but could be quite dense, you know. They have form, and they obey the laws of physics. They reflect light and most certainly cast a shadow. Maybe a little bit more gray over here. And here too. Just being careful not to overdo things. You know, our rinsing water is stained with all the colors we've used so far, and we're actually using that to paint the first layer of our mountains, which later on will appear the farthest. You'll see at the end. So I load the brush with this lightly colored water, and with a swift brush stroke or two, follow a contour of a natural looking mountain. continue the wash to the bottom and let dry. I want this mountain with a higher elevation. I painted it too low. I want it to accommodate some more mountains towards the foreground, hoping I could fit them all nicely later. We'll see. I wouldn't worry about that smudge. Because we're painting a few more mountains with ample drying time in between, and with the importance of a shade darker than previously, like so. And we're done. Thanks for watching.
Okay, that was the video prepared by Jed. And I know you're still on the first layer of the mountain. So we'll wait a few more minutes until we can finish. Mine is still on the first layer of the mountain. And my mountain is not yet showing up. And I am creating a darker blue right now, as he suggested, to indicate the other layers as well. Also, you need drying time in between. I am waiting for it. Plus, the paper that I used was not cotton, so I'm having a hard time right now. There, okay. And last, I'm on the last layer now. So the landscapes that he has discussed is very simple, but contains all the important traits or virtues that watercolor teaches. So like he said in his introduction, we need to practice patience, and you should persevere if you really want to learn this medium. So there, I finished my mountain. Okay. Here, you can see. Okay, there we go. And probably we'll edit this later or do it again. So I hope that you learned in today's session, and this video will be uploaded on the Facebook account once we've finished converting the recording. So with Michelle and with Donna, we are thanking everyone who joined us today. Any last words, Michelle?
Happy Halloween!
Donna?
Thank you so much. I hope you learned something from my first ever demo.
Yes, learn fast.
Next time.
Thank you, Donna.
Thank
So
you also.
thank you to the participants as well. To the subscribers who joined us today, thank you so much. We'll be having, as you can see here, we have a November 17th Watercolor Aficionado. Hopefully by that time, the Facebook Live will really work and we can do the live properly. And we're going to make cards. So Michelle's going to show different ways of painting Christmas trees. There you go. And Nina will do this. Lanterns, very nice lanterns. She'll teach a little bit of calligraphy, like this, or lettering such as this. And I'll be focusing on the reindeer, okay? I don't know if you can still do snowflakes, but I would want to do the cute reindeer. We'll be having a giveaway for the November challenge. It will be posted on Tuesday on the Watercolor Aficionado Instagram and Facebook account, Facebook group account. And of course, we have our sponsor, Shop Tokyo Finds, the gift box, and the Yellow Violet House. They're very generous with the Watercolor Aficionado, and they have given prizes every month for all of you. There's also the member giveaway and the subscriber giveaway. So on November 7th, please do. You will do a lot of these cards, and you can give them away virtually or physically, no? So long as everyone's safe. So right now we are preparing and we are praying as much of the typhoon. And we are grateful that we were able to do this today. And we thank everyone, and let's be safe and be careful out there. Thank you. Happy Halloween.
Bye,
Happy Halloween. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.